Until yesterday, you're not fit to call yourself a Republican.
I want to talk about that in just a second. But Scott, it's interesting because you say, Anna's saying that real Republicans are being ostracized. Trump doesn't represent real Republicans. But you say, all the Lincoln dinners you've gone to the last 15 years, that Trump is actually tapping into something that was very much a part of them.
Oh, no question. I mean, if you've been to a Republican event over the last 2 decades, you've heard a lot of things. You've heard, I want somebody to take down the Clinton machine. I want somebody to take on the media. You heard a lot of sentiments on immigration that sound a heck of a lot like Trump's platform and views on that. And you also heard, hey, why don't we have the same kind of celebrities that the Democrats do? Well, add all this up, and what does it sound like? It sounds like the Trump candidacy and the Trump presidency. So I don't think he created these conditions. I think he took advantage of them. And regarding policy agenda, tax cuts, deregulation, a strong funded military, judges, these have been core principles of the Republican Party for a long time. There has been an anti-free trade sentiment in the minority viewpoint of the Republican Party for quite some time. It happens now to be the view of the standard bearer. That is a departure, but most of the rest of the policy agenda looks like standard Republican stuff.
How about the family values stuff? I mean, how do you feel about about cheating on his wife with a Playboy bunny and cheating on the Playboy bunny with a porn actress and paying them all off as hush money, and the Republican Party, which used to be against adulterer precedents, remaining silent in the midst of it?
Yeah, I don't personally agree with that kind of behavior, but I would say as a policy matter, he has been a very pro-life president. And it appears to me that what Republicans are doing are setting aside personal views in favor of policy wins. And you can argue about whether that's good or bad.
But have they changed? I mean, has the party changed? What Anna is suggesting is that the party used to care about this, people in the party used to care about this, and now they're willingly turning a blind eye to it.
You know what I think a lot of people in the party decided was that the standard bearers of the party weren't fighting hard enough for what we believe in. And you can agree or disagree with that, but they thought that McCain, they thought that Romney, they thought that a lot of the so-called establishment leaders of the party simply they didn't have the fortitude to take it to the people that were keeping down their views, and they're willing to sacrifice on the personal moral front to get the policy wins they want.
See, in the Republican Party I grew up in, and maybe right now it exists only in my mind and my photo albums.
Go ahead.
The Republican Party I grew up in, it would be unfathomable to think that somebody who attacked a national hero, who called POWs losers, who talked that way about women, and we heard him, could become the nominee. But he did. So I think, what we're going through right now is growing pains. And there's a faction of Republicans who say to themselves, well, is the party salvageable? Should we just take our toys and go home and do something else? I think that's a real question. You have seen people like George Will, who have been longtime Republicans, take their toys and go home.
Jeff Flake.
You've seen people like Jeff Flake.
Bob Corker.
You see others who are fighting till their dying breath, like John McCain.
It's interesting to see John Kasich, another one of these Republicans. He's sort of caught in the middle. He weighed in on this discussion. Let's listen to him.
I think the Republican Party has gone dormant. Now, I don't know where the Democrats are. I can't figure out what they're for. But what I can say to you is this rise of people who are now disruptors is heartening to me. It gives me hope for the future of the Congress.
I got to say, John Kasich got talking about the rise of disruptors. I'm not so sure that I see this same rise. If Jeff Flake, if the people speaking out and taking the strongest stand are all the ones leaving, that's not much of a rise.
Yeah, I actually was surprised when I saw Flake and Corker and some of the others last year take stands against Trump. I thought, well, they're United States senators. An individual senator really